For more on the president's trip to Mexico, we are joined here once again by Shannon ONeil, a fellow in Latin American Studies at the Council on Foreign Relations right here in New York. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So this is President Obama's second trip to Mexico. What is the significance of this particular meeting?
Well, this is a meeting that's been held annually for the last 4 years. That's a North American summit, bringing together Prime Minister Harper of Canada, Obama of the United States, and then President Calderon of Mexico. So it's part of this larger format.
And I was just looking at, flu season just around the corner, and I understand that talking about swine flu is on the agenda here. And it said that there will be greater cooperation. I'm just wondering, what does that exactly mean?
We saw really unprecedented cooperation when swine flu broke out in April. We saw scientists from Canada, the United States, get together with scientists from Mexico to actually figure out what swine flu was and then to try to control it. So we're going to see that continue, and we may also see the movement of vaccines, of other types of treatments in the fall season when swine flu, everyone thinks, is going to return. Okay,
so we see good cooperation on swine flu. Trade, though, has been a contentious issue, and I'm wondering what are the problems there and how are we doing on solving them?
This is a contentious issue. We obviously have very close ties with both of our neighbors. They're both the first and the third largest trading partner for the United States, but there are some issues. On the Canadian side and the Mexican side, they both worry about Buy American clauses in the stimulus packages, and that would continue and even deepen. And then particularly on the Mexican side, there's a dispute over trucks and Mexican trucks coming into the United States. Under NAFTA, it was promised the U.S. would allow these trucks in, but they still haven't, and it's been over 15 years.
Oh, any progress made?
They're working on it, and what the Obama administration says is they're in discussions. They're trying to come up with some sort of agreement that solves worries on the United States side about safety, but also fulfills our obligations under NAFTA, but we still don't have a resolution.
And then the other issue that continues to simmer is drug violence. Just yesterday, a defense lawyer was gunned down in Monterey. So what's being done as far as cooperation there?
We've seen a lot of cooperation over the last year or two. We've seen the Merida Initiative, which is the largest effort from the United States, $1.4 billion over 3 years. And we also see a lot of day-to-day communication between U.S. forces and bureaucracies and the Mexican bureaucracies. But this is really going to be a long-term solution or a long-term issue for the two countries to resolve.
If I were to ask you, well, what's the biggest challenge that still exists, say, between the U.S. and Mexico? Is it something we've discussed, or there's more to it?
The biggest challenge is the fact that we're so interconnected as countries, that all of these issues are on the table, and you can't look at just one in isolation. You can't just look at the economy, just look at health, just look at issues like climate change, or just at security. They're all intertwined, so solutions to each one are going to involve the other ones. And so thinking about it in this holistic way is really the biggest challenge.
Shannon ONeil, as always, thank you very much.
My pleasure.